Okay, folks, Babaginator, we're here in the long dark. We've got to find two wolves because they have our arrows. Okay. What are we taking with us right now? Should we take everything with us? Yeah, apologies for the late start. We just had, I was surprised to learn that I had something that was due yesterday, not for school, but for work. And so I'm going to spend the rest of the early part of the evening trying to get that wrapped up. Yeah, sometimes best laid plans. Okay. Do we take these with us? We'll be back, right? We'll be back? Maybe? These are not going to cure in 2 days.
Carry this load for much longer.
Question is, where are we going to go next? I think we want to go to whatchamacallit. I think we'll eventually head over to Hat Creek because it's easiest to go from Hat Creek to into Mystery Lake. Yeah. Hey, good to see you, Rootbeard. Hopefully you're having a pretty good day. Hammer is AWOL. No idea. I am 99% certain there's one hammer waiting at Mystery Lake at Trappers. But really, to take advantage of that would mean that we would have to pick up the hammer and come back for an unknown amount of time in FM just to forge. And honestly, it's tempting. It is tempting. If we can't find our missing arrows, we will need more arrows. Because we have potentially up to, worst case scenario, like 80 days. 80 days on 10 arrows does not seem like a smart move. I mean, it's doable. I mean, I've seen people do ridiculous things like that and like just have like 3 or 4 arrows and try to last as long as they can. But you know, with Blackrock as our destination, I don't really like that. Not that I'm planning to get into, you know, battles with wolves. Yeah, it'd be really nice to have a full quiver going into Blackrock. Like, I would say minimum 15, but I would prefer to have like 25, just so I have some throwaway arrows. Ooh, wolves run everywhere. Creatures run everywhere. Yeah. Okay. It's still kind of foggy. I'm not seeing any... Oh. Yeah, get out another wolf. Howdy, Mr. Wolf. Are you going to run away with my arrow too? Ah! My mouse moved. That was not what I planned on. They're a little twitch. I think the problem is I just always set my mouse for hypersensitive, and then it becomes a problem. Just give me a better, flatter spot to engage you, okay? He's gonna come back. I'm loaded. Well, I got a little bit of meat on me.
Come on. Take a fire.
I know where that arrow went. That arrow went right into this guy. Do we want to waste our time on this? No, we don't. I want to know where the other wolves went. Like, we also know there's another bear out there, but we're not going to fight a bear on our last 2 days. That's just silly. 2 or 3 days. That's all we got left. What I am going to do is... we are going to do a little bit of work here. We still have birch saplings that we can turn into arrow shafts. We can get our part done. Prep work done. Eight, 7, 6, 5. Yeah. We're just hoping for crow weather here. Okay. Yeah, this is the problem. We also are out of whetstones. Oh, can we do that thing? I don't know if it's here. Someone says that there's sometimes stuff hidden, like in the snow. I think I already grabbed it. Yeah, I think I already grabbed it. Still foggy. Yeah, you can't find anything here, right? Can't see a thing.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Nope, still can't see a thing. Make more line. If we broke something up, we could even make snares. Okay, what do we do here? What we got for tea? We can make more tea. Man. just not good. Can't see a thing. Well, I have a plan B.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
We grabbed everything, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. Plan B. There's plenty of food in Hat Rock. Oh, it's clearing up. It's finally clearing up. Okay, maybe we have a chance. There's deer. We see any evidence that the wolf? Too far away. Yeah, I was hoping to see if we could pick them up on the map, but no luck. Did we ever check this? No, we never did. It's never going to be this nice again. This is the kindest that FM has been to me at all. Like this. Just this perfect stillness, weather. But still, No clue as to where the dead wolves went. There's a wolf over there. He's not dead. Like there's no crows. It's like too good for you, crows? You don't want to show up? Don't want to go to work? Oh, another wolf. Another live wolf. Where are the dead wolves at? I'll just chase you off. Go away. Go away. I don't need to kill you. Yeah, this is frustrating, not knowing where the wolves are. The wolves we want, we can't find. The wolves we don't want keep showing up. And I can't see any sign of crows, except for those ones going home. They already clocked out for the day. They're done. Oh.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking increasingly like we're going to have to pay a return visit to Forlorn Muskeg to forge. And just hope for I don't know, any length of stay in FM is fine, as long as it's more than like 3 days. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find those wolves. It's a shame. One lost arrow was within calculations, but 2 lost arrows, that hurt badly. That's a significant loss. You know, at this point, I'm just too low on arrows. I can't afford to waste arrows. I should have just frightened off the wolves and been happy with that. It's really what it teaches you is when you're down to the last arrows, do you take the shot or do you just scare the wolf? Sometimes it's not worth the shot. It's like, am I going to eat that? No. Do I need the hide? No. Do I need the guts? No. Then maybe, just maybe, I'm only killing the wolf because he annoys me? Yes. Which, if you have lots of arrows, is fine, but if you've got no arrows left, then that's a bad reason to shoot. Yep. It's a lot less exciting, I'll grant you that. You know, watching me not take the shot is really boring. Unless it ends with me being mauled anyways, then that's not boring. I think we'll go through the cave this time, and mainly just pick up more coal.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Good enough. Okay. Did we leave our other bear hide on the other side? Yeah. May have to come back. Yeah, I want to get a second bear coat going too, and I can't remember if I left the bear hide. I'm carrying one right now. There's one that's already cured,
Come on, little fire.
and I can't remember if I left the cured one on this side or on the other side. So we're going to find out. It's on the other side. That's kind of a pain. We'll just have to run around the periphery again.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Okay, there we go. We already picked this place clean. Maybe we already did. Yeah, we must have did this at the beginning of our time here because it's already clean. Oh, so much for saving a few pieces of coal. Gonna have a lot of torches to tear up. Look at all this litter, Astrid. Just because you're the last person does not mean you get to throw your stuff everywhere. Think of all the other people that live in the cave. All the rabbits and bears and wolves that come in here. Okay, they don't come in this one. Okay. Okay, so... we left the bear hide on the other side. Ugh, that's so annoying. I think sadly that means we either have to forget about that bear hide, or we have to, well, we probably forget about it this time and then go and get it if we come back here to forge. Yep. I've gotten lazy. That's the truth. I've gotten lazy. I knew better. I should have taken notes. I should have just made a habit of carrying the bear hide with me everywhere. That would have made more sense. But I didn't. So, of course, we could always hope for a long stay in Mystery Lake and kill another bear and wait for it to cure up, and then we'll have 2 bear hides again. And the question is, are we making a bearskin bedroll, or are we going to make a second bear coat? Ugh. Yeah, usually my runs are very organized, but not this time. Yeah. Well, I've had previous runs where I was very good at my note-taking, and everything was documented. And then this run, I think partly it was because I never really expected this run to last as long as it has. I thought it was doomed earlier, and so I did not actively note take. And now there have been things that I did at the beginning that I have no idea what I did, and it's frustrating. Like the bearskin bedroll is I think it's just a bit better. I'm trying to remember how much better it is. Let's see, bedroll. That's right, they don't tell us on here. It's heavier. The biggest problem is it's heavier, right? So, whereas the improved... This one is light. And the bedroll is... The bearskin bedroll is super heavy. At 3. So, let's see. What's our... Current bedroll maxes out at... So look at all those things we have to... Oops. Bed warmth... Okay, so we're like down a considerable amount, but I think it's like a 7.5. I think for this bedroll when it's fully maxed out. And the bearskin bedroll is like a 9. So, yeah, it's... just a little bit better, but like it can make the difference in Blackrock. Then again, having a bearskin coat also can make the difference. And that's with you all the time. Like a bearskin coat that's 5 kilograms instead of 3. But it's like 5.6, 4.7. Yeah, it's really good in terms of, you know, giving you warmth. This is only 3.7, 3.7. But this is also like 2 kilos lighter. Yeah, tough call. Yeah, but the bedroll is super heavy. I think in a super long run, what I would do, I think on a super long run, is just kill a bunch of bears and have a couple bedrolls. If there was a way to stash them so that they did not decay quickly, that is an ongoing problem with bedrolls in general, is they just always need maintenance.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Spend the night tearing up sticks like a good person. Yep, Astrid. Addicted to stick breaking. All these torches. Completing the circle of life. I hope we do get a long stay in Mystery Lake. We have not had a long stay at all. In any of our visits to Mystery Lake, it's always been a short stay. which means that we have not looted most of Mystery Lake. And that means there's a good chance, let's say like in lake cabins, we haven't been to lake cabins or to the fishing huts on the lake. We haven't, trying to think where else we haven't been. There's at least one tower we haven't been to. Trying to think where else. We haven't gone looking for bunkers either. Yeah, there's a bunker out there that we haven't been to. Right? Or is that in PV? No, that one's in PV. Okay. So I got a message from one of my professors that my class tomorrow was canceled. It gives me another day. Well, it gives me a free day. I have no other classes or responsibilities on Wednesday now, so that's kind of nice. Though I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get ahead on a couple of my homework projects. Because I have that upcoming trip. I don't want to have anything to worry about while I'm gone. Okay, let's look at our situation here. Does anything need repair? That's still new. These could be fixed. We need more cloth. What are we on now? Day 240. So we got 2 days left. What else is so heavy?
This pack.
Too much water. 24 matches. Well, let's try to get some more birch bark. Oh, I remember another spot we haven't looted. We haven't been to Lake Overlook Cave. That might have some useful stuff there. Maybe a whetstone. Wow, big winds again. Nice weather, big winds.
My fingers feel numb. Damn, I'm freezing.
Yeah, it's gusty. Wind chilled minus 19. Is it minus 19? Minus 21. Still gusty.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Okay, a little bit better.
Come on, little fire. Come on. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Why? Why did it suddenly gust up again? Oh, what do we see here? Ptarmigans. Good news about ptarmigans is we don't need to use our good arrows. We can use our crappy arrows. Yeah! Do this to me. Yeah. Tell me about it. Oops. Ugh. Take your head off.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Is there another one? Nope. Ah! I didn't mean to do that. Just want to get to the very top here. I'm just going to draw ourselves a little map. Is anything still hot? Nope. Okay. Yeah, we've already been up here and done this. Okay.
Come on, little fire. I can barely walk with this much gear.
You don't need to cook these. Why are we cooking these? You just want the feathers. I guess in theory, if we take the meat off, then it shouldn't stink. I don't know if that actually works. Oh, we should be making more broth. That's what we should be doing. Oops. Oh well. Silly. Trying to make something else. I guess we don't have any flour, so 23, 9. Hey, thanks for the follow, Fall Guys Z. Don't mind us, we're just plucking feathers. Okay. 23 minutes. Keep cooking. Yeah, I don't want to time travel exactly.
It's getting dark out here. I'm gonna look for shelter. I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
We're counting down. We're getting close to the time to get out of this region, but we already messed up a little bit. In the sense that we have a second bear hide, which I accidentally left on the other side, so yeah. Cloth-wise, how are we doing? We got 2 pieces of cloth, and now we have 10 down. I'll do a shout out here. root beard. Yeah, let's see. So we don't really have anyone else really hanging out right now. Someone must have mentioned me in a different stream. Yeah. Okay. Time for the big sleep. Well, not that big sleep. We don't want to die in the middle of the night. You were eaten by the grue. Okay. I think we have some other stuff to work on. Nope. We don't. Do we have anything to shred? Couple of these. Okay. Okay, where are we at now? Was this departure day or do we got another day left? $2:41. We have 1 day left. We are moving. So I think we just accept that
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
we're not going to be able to find the missing birch or missing whatchamacallit. Yeah, we're missing those 2 arrows. We're not going to find them. I think we just accept that. Do we need another bow? Well, this might actually go towards fixing our... Some point we'll need to fix our travois. Looks like it's already coming close to that time again. So... But we don't need one. It really depends on our rolls, whether or not we need another set of bows. We need more guts? No, we got plenty of guts. What's our weight? 57 right now. Okay, we've got a new problem. This meat is going to be ruined soon, which means we won't be able to transport it. Okay. So, I think we just take a little bit of meat with us.
Come on, little fire.
You don't really have to worry about most things right now.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Actually. Leave all the small stuff behind. Take large pieces, 3 of them. Buys us an extra day. $65. That's just too heavy. We don't want to be that heavy. Well, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the weather is good. We're just going to push... Okay, so there's a slim chance that one of the wolves ran all the way across and across the tracks and ended up on this side. So that when we head out towards Mystery Lake, we may run into one wolf carcass. That's a long shot, but our other bear hide, unfortunately, is on the other side, on Spence's side of the Forlorn Muskeg, which means it's too far for us to go to and get out. We have 2 main torches. It's okay.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Fun. Okay, we're going to move to the cave closest to the exit. We will stay the night there, and then we'll push on into Mystery Lake. This time we're going the low road. See if we can spot any dead wolves. That's way too many torches. 22. What am I doing with so many torches? Okay. Second I thought I heard crows, but maybe not. Oops. This is definitely a windy day. Not super cold, just windy. Cured. More meat. Here, crows. This is probably pre-existing carcass. Corpse. Not the right one though. More cattails. I'll take those. Still this guy. Yeah, still no sign of the wolves, so I don't know. My luck, they're probably already despawned and it'll be even harder to find them. The arrows, at least, just wind up floating somewhere.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Is it almost time? Nope, not yet. Oh, we got enough water. Okay, it's getting a little bit on the late side for me, so we may save our trip into Mystery Lake for next stream. We'll do the last part of the trip in... I don't know, we'll see how long it takes us. 10 arrows. Hey, AV, thanks for the raid. We're thinking about wrapping up soon too, but it's good to see you. Had a late start tonight. Had another project I was trying to finish up. Yeah, let's give you a shout out here. Dark Souls.
Is that one? Oh my god, look at that one. Look at the state of that. That one you can live under. Hello. Oh, we're clipping. Hello and welcome to the Blackrock. Ah.
Okay, friends, it is the day, I think. It is the day to leave. 2:42, day to leave! I think we'll do this. We'll go and march out and go to Mystery Lake now. Hey, thanks for the sub as well, AV. Very much appreciated. For those who are just joining us, I'm doing a challenge called Roll With It, where every time I enter a new region, I have to roll a die, and it tells us how long we're going to stay. Have to leave by midnight of the day that it turns over. And we are, as you can see, on 2:42, and it just turned to 2:42, so we are getting ready to leave and go into Mystery Lake. Now, we have a problem, and that problem is that I accidentally left one of my bear hides on the opposite side of... We have two problems. So I forgot that I had left one of my bear hides in a cave over on Spence's side. And second problem is that last stream we took a couple shots at wolves, and despite archery 5, the wolves survived and ran off with the arrows, and now we have 2 missing arrows, which we were unable to track down, so I'm down to 10 arrows, and I still have to get to, I have to go Mystery Lake, Winding River, PV, Keeper's Pass, Blackrock. I don't think I can do it on 10 arrows. I think I'm going to probably have to go to Mystery Lake, where I'm 99% certain I left a hammer on the trapper's workbench. And I'm going to have to grab that and then make another trip to FM and hope it's like 10 days or something like that. I've got so much food in FM that I can afford to stay. I just hate the fact that we're going to have to backtrack. to guarantee that we have enough arrows to make it to the end. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so it's definitely some silliness on my part for not catching that. I even thought at one point, yeah, I should make a note of where I left that. So this bear hide's almost done. Early in the morning. We probably should just wait another hour.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
It's so close to being done. They're all so close to being done. We're just going to take them as is. We're also out of... our whetstone is... We're out of whetstones. That's not good either. How many... Lots of torches. Lots of guts. Yeah. Okay. But it's time for us to go. Take a little extra meat with us. I think we should warm up our teas and pull some extra torches. Okay. But yeah, overall, this is I'd say like a pretty good place that we're at. And if we do have to come back here, like I said, we brought so much food in here and we killed so many things. FM is overflowing in food. So staying here on any side of the map is fine. There's lots of food everywhere. So we have a whole bear on Spence's side, and then we have like a bear and a ton of wolves worth of food over on this side. So how is Dark Souls? Spooky? Terrifying? A lot of fun? Okay. We're at 60. What are we carrying? Well, all that stuff. Yeah, I've heard that. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's definitely a commitment. Push through, push through, push through. I haven't played any of the Dark Souls games, but I've seen clips and watched some people play through parts of it and thought to myself, I don't know if I really want to play it. Alright. Weather looks good. Visibility good. No wind. Is that a wolf coming for us? Is that a carcass? Tree stump, what is that? That is a wolf still moving. Okay. Figures. Oh. Did I distract the wolf with the deer? Not quite. Oh, maybe. Yep, wrong direction. You went in, don't you? Right when we're all pinned up against this tree. Okay. I don't want to kill you. I need my arrows. I'm not going to cook you. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to let me get through, is it? It's going to throw me another big windstorm here. Let's see if we can hold on to this. Figures. hoping... I think I saw a wolf over here. Could be one of our wolf carcasses. Or is it just a tree stump? Nope. Optical illusion.
I hate being cold, because I really do.
Okay. Time for us to go. We're missing 2 arrows. We're missing another bear hide. One that we already cured. Yeah. Last time we cured a bear hide, we used it to repair our bear coat. Maybe we did use it already. Maybe we did repair our bear coat.
So cold in my life.
Okay, time to find out how long we're going to be in Mystery Lake. Long time, short time, what's it going to be? So here's the fun. You get to roll, or you get to call out a number, and then if you're right, when we roll the die on the screen, you get 10,000 points. Which apparently you can spend on things. Okay, so put your number in the chat, number between 1 and 20, because we're that far into the challenge. So we're on day 242 now. Okay, so we've got a 3, we got an 8. Anyone else in? Ooh. Another 3, okay. 13. Oh, 13 is what you want. Okay. Let's see. Last call. 3, 2, 1. 17. We got a long one here for change. So 17 days is actually good news in some respects. 17 days means we will finally get a real chance to loot Mystery Lake, which we have not had this entire run. Every visit has been super fast. Okay. So, yeah. So, 17 days. No one got 17 days. So, what do we want here? "17 days puts it at 59. It's 75, 98. Do we have any other meat? 23, 27. was such a nice day just like a little bit ago, and now it's back to being windy and miserable. Clear, but windy and miserable. Oddly enough, we pulled no wolves. Been fully expecting wolves to show up. Doo-doo. There's also a chance we could accidentally pull a bear. That's one thing I don't want to do. Oop. Couple pieces of coal. Yeah, what do we make about this? No deer, no wolves. Big wind. I'm really hoping I left some whetstones behind, and I'm hoping that the hammer is here. Yeah, at the rate we're rolling, this is going to be one of the longest, one of my longest runs. But not really by choice. It's just because I keep having to stay a ridiculous amount of time in all these different regions. Ooh. We're hugging the wall because we don't want the bear to find us. Do we see the bear? I don't even see the bear. Maybe there's no bear. Okay, we really want whetstones. Whetstones, hammer, any cloth that we forgot to use. Hammer hype, we'll find out. Find out if my memory is correct. So far this run, my memory's not been very good. Like, I know that we didn't leave any food behind, so that's one big strike against this place. Yeah, there's the hammer. One hammer. One little hammer. Oh, there's more cloth. Okay, let's got hammer. Hammer is here.
Come on, little fire. Come on. Perfect.
Okay, proper searching. So we definitely have a hammer. But we've got nothing else. Oh, there's more cloth. We can do some repairs. There's more cloth there too. We don't even have water in here. That's how woefully unprepared we are. Yeah.
Come on, little fire.
Okay, so water. Nothing else hiding here. Okay. Okay. Do we make more, or we just hold off? How many arrow shafts do we have? We have 23, so we don't really need to make any more. We'll drop these here. Okay, we'll dump everything here. Add a note. Want to hunt. What else do we want to do? Repair clothing. Find whetstone. Okay. Oh. We may even drop the axe here, take the hammer. No, it's tempting. Well, it depends if we get the whetstone. Let's see. We've got stuff to tear, right? Ragged jeans. And we can do some repairs here. Probably, so let's see, we've got 4 pieces of cloth. What's the priority here? Most of these are in the... Oh, these guys are 653. We should at least save one of them, not both. There's one. Okay, so we have the hammer. We just need to make it through the next 17 days. Okay, let's see here. Bear is officially cured. Deer is cured as well.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
That's 91. 90. Versus our travois is 78. Yeah. Okay, that's all repaired up. We're going to save here as we update our numbers here. 243. 243. 1 day in Mystery Lake already. Let's see over here. We have 243. 1 day in Mystery Lake. Oh, I'm tired. Okay, so we'll exit and re-enter. We'll pick up next time. We're going to do a quick poetry reading, I think. Let's see. Let's read something before we go. Those of you new to this stream, I am a writer. I'm the author of 2 books of poetry. And I like reading poetry. And sometimes people make requests, and sometimes we just wrap up the stream with a poem. We're going to use our handy-dandy poem chooser, which randomly selects a poem. This one's Letter 21. Okay, I think I talked about this one, or this project last time. So there's a set of, you know what? I already read this one. So we're going to have to do a different one. So we just read this one a couple days ago, so we'll do a different one. Letter 17. Okay. Okay. I kind of want something other than one of the letter poems because we keep getting those. So we will do one more try and see if we can get something different. Return. Return's good. Okay. Return comes from my second book of poetry, Babbage's Dream, which was published by Sundress Publications in 2017. And let's see. This is a good one, I think. Return. So the book revolves around the history of computers, and especially 19th century mathematician Charles Babbage, who designed, partially built, but never finished what would have been the first computer. And he was 130 years ahead of his time. So a lot of the poems deal with his life, his challenges, his struggles, as well as the successes that he had, but also engage with artificial intelligence in film and literature, and also explore sort of modern computer programming spaces. I used to work as a computer games programmer many years ago. So here we go. This is Return. And this comes from a series of poems that riff off of programming terms. Return. Come back, we say, to the bit of code we've let loose in the dark, and it returns like a half-feral cat laying down its prey on our front step. In its mouth, a still quivering squirrel, a sparrow, its throat crushed, or perhaps a few token feathers and some blood. Here, it seems to say, here is what you really wanted. Not everything that it returns is a name or a path home. Sometimes all that remains is an old man who has spent his life building a machine to calculate the probability that the dead will rise again, that the empty bed will fill once more with the breathing form of love. Come back, he says. But the world he returns to remains flush with the unwished for, the fading back of the lover turned to dust and shadow, her face as still and cold in memory as the morning he laid her in the iron earth, or the geared machine itself, a giant ghost, a phantom of ink and words. The hour is late, the years winding on, the graveyard is already full with the names of his friends. He lights a candle for one, and then another, and another. The house brims with tiny fires. There are moths in every room. No one waits at the door, but at the window a constant beating of wings. So that's kind of, so basically the inspiration for the poem is sort of the type of return call that happens at, when you call a function, it returns something. in code. You know, it returns, some functions don't return anything, you know, other than the signal that they're done, which happens at a system level. But often we call a function to perform a calculation or manipulation on a set of values or strings or whatever it is, and then it returns something. You know, if you had an exponent function, you would pass in some parameters, some, you know, like maybe the base and then the exponent, the power, and then it would calculate the final result and return it to you. So that's the return it's referring to. But, you know, it plays off of the idea of what it means to return something and the fact that maybe it doesn't return what we're looking for. The same way that my sister had a cat that was, you know, came from a farm and was very adept at hunting things, even in the city. The cat would bring back squirrels that it killed, or like large birds. It was like, it was not messing around, that cat. And so, and my sister would say, it's not what I was looking for, but it's kind of a sign of affection, right, from the cat. Um, and then there's also the sense of like you return back, you know, especially a person like Babbage who ended up outliving like most of the people he loved in his life. And so he comes back again and again to these empty spaces. And especially the fact that he loses his wife at such a young age and never remarries. You know, it was too much for him to even consider, you know, anyone else replacing her. So yeah, a lot of those things filter into this poem. But yeah, okay, so that's Return. And if you're interested in learning more about that, you're welcome to check out the a lot of the poems were written, so a handful of poems were written when I was still programming that made it into the first book, Lost Country of Sight. I don't think any of the poems I was writing as a programmer made it into the second book, but the ideas for the poems I think did. Like I knew I wanted to write about some of these things. So there's a certain amount of the second book is really reflection. The first poems for the second book were written like towards the end of my MFA. So because I'm an ancient person, that would mean 2006. I probably started writing the poems for Babbage's Dream. And I was finishing 2006, 2007, I was finishing up The Lost Country of Sight, the first book. And so already the ideas were starting to come to me, but I didn't really have like I was wrestling with it. I was really struggling to figure out how best to write the poems. So some of them came and they felt quite good. Like I was happy with them, and others were like, it's a mess. I just don't know how to write about these things. So yeah, there was a lot of time spent working on them, thinking about them, trying different ways to write the poem. You know, before I kind of stumbled on a way to handle these different topics and different approaches. You know, I realized like, so really behind the scenes, like there are poems that are directly about Babbage, right? They have Babbage in the title. And so those poems are written in a second person. That means it's a you. The poem speaks to Babbage, but at the same time that you speaks to us as the reader. So it collapses the distance of time and space. And we feel like a kinship because of that you. And it's a tricky thing to work with second person, but in the end, it was better than trying to write it in first person, to try to pretend I was in Babbage's voice. Because, like, no one wants me to pretend to be a Victorian. It's just not going to sound right. Nor does it sound right for our modern ear. And then trying to write in third person continued the problem I was trying to avoid, which was I felt like Charles Babbage as a historical figure had become so pigeonholed as like stereotyped as like this disgruntled failure of a genius who had this great idea and never was able to bring it to pass. And at the end of his life, no one believed that it was worth it. It was just sad. It's really awful, like the way he was treated in society by a lot of people who were supposed to support science, and they just couldn't see the value of what he was trying to do. Granted, he was 130 years ahead of his time, and the context was just not really apparent to a lot of people. But it was radical, and many other mathematicians and scientists in other countries understood what he was doing was really, really important. But his own country didn't. And they stopped supporting him, and it just kind of became harder and harder to move on. So those ones, second person, solved the problem of distance, and made it so we felt a connection as opposed to feeling like, oh, he's this distant person from the past. And the poems that deal with artificial intelligence, and specifically like famous artificially created others, like Frankenstein's creature, or HAL 9000, or Deep Blue, the IBM computer that beat Kasparov, or the Mechanical Turk, which was a fake, chess playing robot. Those I treat as full characters, and I have them speak with a first person, with an I, and we hear their voices. We hear the voice of the machine speaking back to us, and often pushing back against the narrative or the ways in which we have contextualized those machines, those others, and like rejecting sort of the way in which we think about them. The Frankenstein, Frankenstein's creature, what is it? I don't think I've read that one in a while, but I might read that next time. Frankenstein's creature bids farewell to its maker, is like this direct rejection of Victor Frankenstein, of, like, in a sense, colonialism, in a sense, industrialism, and capitalism, and a lot of things. It just rejects, all these different narratives and expectations and hierarchies that he's supposed to fit into, the creature's supposed to fit into. And he says, like, I'm going to write my own story, at the end of the poem. It's like he says, I refuse to be the villain, or actually, how does it say it? I really like, it's really over the top, but it's also one of my favorite things. It's like, I sign my name, my secret name, across the horizon's line. I write myself anew and make whatever legend that trails behind me mine. Your story ends here, a final spark, then smoke that ascends into the void. But mine grows bolder with each telling, consumes the heart, plays the stage, stumbles onward, a grand machine, a god of unspeakable dreams, unstoppable, unbreakable, alive, awake. And it just, I wrote it, and then it like kind of sent chills down my spine. It's like, it was true. It's like, it's just rejecting, it's just like taking ownership of its existence. So I really love those first person poems. Hey, thanks for the bits, Roller. Yeah, I love those first person poems from the AIs, and I love the ways in which, let's see here. Yeah, I love the first person AI poems. The third person, the third person is really reserved for like the well, actually, it's weird. It's like both like a plural second person, like there's a we, and then sometimes it's just third person, like a he, she, it, for the ones that riff off of the programming terms. And then Yeah, so actually, you know what? A lot of them, yeah. So I guess like the programming turn ones are the ones that are most flexible. They could be any of those things. And then the AI ones are always first person, and the Babbage ones are always second person. So yeah, one of the poems that didn't make it in here was a Sherlock Holmes poem. I wrote one and it wandered too much. It was just too meandering, and I could never edit it down to something that I was happy with. But I'll talk about that perhaps sometime, and you know, if I can dig out like a draft of it, I'll share it, and we'll talk about like why it ended up not working. It was too ambitious, I think. It just wanted to be too much, and at the same time, I could never quite nail the voice down to make it work. The poem is now a cold case. Yeah. Um. Anyways, it's late here, so I should probably get ourselves on to the next person. Okay, so let's see. Who do we have that we can go visit? Who is still around? I mean, it's almost midnight here for me. I'm usually not up this late, but late start because of the tic-tac-toe. Okay, I think it's a Poe. Visit the Poe. So we're going to visit the Poe. Yeah, no, always a pleasure. And okay, so we get this raid going. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back on tomorrow night, I believe. And then Thursday and Friday I'm off for D&D, and then Saturday I'm usually back. So off we go on our raid.